Hey everyone, I'm Ellen here at etrailer.com, and we're going to be taking a look at the Fusion LED tail light. This is going to give you stop, turn, tail, and also a reversible light or a reverse light, so you can back up and see what's going on behind you. So it's going to give you a lot of options. You can wire it a couple different ways to utilize all of those functions or just some of them depending on your application. The nice thing about this is that it is an LED light and it's also submersible, so you can use this on an enclosed trailer, on a marine trailer, on maybe something that's a little bit more off-road. If you want to make sure that no water, dirt, or dust is going to get in here and cause any issues, this should be a good option for you. Something that I also really like about LEDs is that there's nothing to replace with these. As long as the housing is undamaged, we shouldn't ever have to do anything with this light. There's no maintenance required, like with an incandescent bulb. Over time, you're going to have to change out that bulb because the filament's going to go bad, so it just adds more stuff to do with that lighting. As long as everything stays good with this, shouldn't really have to do anything with it once you put it on there. It's pretty easy to get installed. We'll have two plugs for the wiring. One of them is just going to be for that backup light or that reverse light. The others is going to be for our stop, turn, and tail light signals. So if you don't want to have that reverse light, you don't have to hook it up, but if you do, you will need to get two plugs to utilize with this. It's pretty standard plugs that this uses. One is going to be a 3-prong, that other backup light is going to be the 2-prong. You can find options for that wiring here at etrailer.com. It's going to be a related part on the product page here at etrailer, so you can check those out and get them while you're here. But as far as how it's going to look, you can see the two plugs there. Again, 3-prong, 2-prong. I'm going to hook them up to my system. So I've just got some of those plugs here. Should look something like these two guys. We're just going to match those up and plug them in. And I've got power going to these, so as soon as I plug it in, you'll notice that light's coming on. So get that seated in there. You can see that red ring going all the way around. That's going to be our running light circuit. It's going to provide a nice clear indication when our lights are turned on, so the vehicles, other drivers can see us even in the rain or in the dark. Turn out the lights in the studio. You can see how bright that signal is. So if we turn on the input there, you can see if we hit the brakes and also hit our reverse signal, everything's on. So we have our red lights on in the center there, as well as the white light at the end. Again, that's powered by that 2-prong plug, so I'm going to unplug that because I have everything kind of running together. So whenever you hit the brakes or you use your turn signal, normally it's going to look like that. So it'll illuminate those red LEDs in the center, give you your signal there, and then if you hook up your backup signal, and I'm going to turn my lights on so you can see what's going on. And if you hit the brakes there, we can have this running separately just depending on how you wire that up. So if I take the power off of that guy, well, anyway, that gives you the basic idea of how this is going to work without taking forever to figure that out. So again, if you don't want to use that backup signal, you don't have to. It is going to be wired separately, but it gives you an easy way to separate out those wires. There is a little legend on the back of the light to help you remember which wire is which. So the top white is going to be our ground signal. That black wire is our tail light or our running light signal. The red wire is our stop and turn, so our brakes and our turn signals. The brown wire is our reverse signal or the backup signal. And the second white wire is also a ground for that signal. So it makes it pretty easy to figure out which goes where. As far as the size, overall it measures about 7.5 inches long from the outer edge of that bezel to the same spot on the other side. If we flip it around the other way, it's about 3.25 inch wide. The light itself is about 6 3/4 inches long, or just under 6.5 inches long by 2 1/4. and it's an inch tall or an inch thick. The mounting holes will have 4 going all the way around that perimeter. The distance between them center to center is about 2 3/4 inches center to center, and then about 7 inches center to center. The holes are about 1/8, maybe 3/16 in diameter. It does not come with any hardware, but if you pick up some 3/16 or 1/8 inch bolts or screws, should work just fine for that. As far as the more detailed specs, it does have 22 diodes in total, and it has a power draw at 12.8 volts for the stop and turn light signal of 0.37 amps. For the tail lights, it's going to be 0.20 amps. For the backup light, it's 0.242 amps. There is a lifetime warranty on those LEDs. It is DOT compliant and should be a great addition to your trailer to get that mounted up and have all of your turn signals in one light. I think this is a really nice looking light. That little red bezel looks really cool. It's kind of a glow light, almost kind of has a sort of futuristic retro look to it, so I think it looks pretty nice. And again, since it is submersible, it should last you a long time. Well, I hope this video has been helpful in deciding if this light is the right one for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.